Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs, Part 1, the Shellic Ethereum. Obviously a choice inspired by Flinger, shout out to him. We're going to drive the Shellic Ethereum army against the Alpha Megapithecus. The Shellic Ethereums have around 20 to 21k health and 800 melee. So, will it boss? Okay, we're going straight in, and right off the bat, I can notice that the Shellic Ethereums are easily punched around by the Gorilla. Some of them are using their range attack, which is quite unfortunate, because even though it has a higher base damage, you are losing a lot of DPS overall. Oh, okay, so unfortunately we see our first Calico drop. That means no extra achievements for the beer drinking cow. But in the end we are victorious. So yes, the Shellic Ethereum will boss. Facing the Guardian using Ark's Underdogs, Part 2, the Gigantopithecus. The Bigfoot is a medium-sized creature with super good base stats, but not so great level increases and no saddles. Their melee damage is at 800%, but they only have around 12k health. Instead, they get to wear helmets to offset this, so there's only one question left. Will it boss? Let's see how they do against their own kin on Alpha difficulty. Well, they get thrown around a lot, but at least they close the distance pretty fast. We're on a pretty good run, not gonna lie. We've been holding the aggro of the Megapithecus on the UT quite well, but it seems I kinda have to back off now, cause our health is getting pretty low. And as soon as I left the Bigfoots on their own, they started dropping down. Well, there ain't no way we're winning now. Clearly the Gigantopithecus does not boss. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs, Part 3, the Triceratops. The Trike is one of the most popular tames among Ark players in the early game, but in Ascended they got a lot better, since now the damage protection on their head is applied to melee attacks as well, meaning that they get a 90% damage reduction for any attack coming from their front. Sounds amazing, right? But will it boss? To spice things up, we're trying out the Broodmother, but the Trikes are equipped with Ascended saddles. Okay, the Trikes are engaging, but it seems the Broodmother has such a large area of attack that it manages to avoid their head. Oh god, I have a bad feeling about this. There goes our first strike. Yay! Maybe if you breed them for stats so you can get them to 18, 19k health and 900 damage, maybe then you can take on the Alpha Monkey. But this time, the Trike does not boss. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs, Part 4, Mammoth Edition. The Mammoth is one of the most powerful herbivores in the game. Great health, great damage, and cheap to craft saddles make him a strong contender for our series. The Mammoths have around 30-31k health and 810 damage. We're also using Ascended saddles and veggie cakes, but we are taking on the Alpha Dragon after all. We gave the Mammoth a lot of advantages, but will it boss? And here we go. I think we managed to get them all in. Let's go, get him boys. We kind of got him in a bad spot. The Mammoths can't properly surround him. Okay, he's taking off. We can relocate the fight, but oh my god, what is going on here? We lost 5 Mammoths in that engagement? Yeah, we're pretty much screwed. It feels like the collision is much worse for Mammoths in Ascended. That's why a lot of them were not able to reach the dragon and practically did nothing. I'm kind of disappointed, because these things can totally mop the floor with the Alpha Megapithecus. But unfortunately, today, the Mammoth does not boss. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs, Part 5, the Carnotaurus. The Carno is a common predator on the island. That means it's easy to find some with amazing stats. With that being said, I got them to a respectable 15k health and 825% damage, and I equipped them with Ascended saddles. Unfortunately, their bleed does not work on bosses, but the AI will use that attack from time to time during the battle, losing you some DPS. So, will it boss? This fight is a bit problematic, because the ape will target your UT, so you might die before your Carnos, and we don't want that to happen. Even with an Ascended saddle, I still take lots of damage from the apes. But with a little bit of strategic thinking, I managed to get the Megapithecus stuck at the bottom of these stairs, where it can't really push the Carnos away. Just make sure you dodge the boulders, and I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but we beat the Megapithecus and we haven't lost a single Carno. Yes sir, the Carno will boss. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs, Part 6, the Dire Bear. The Dire Bear is one of those teams that I classify as a glass cannon. In terms of damage, they can hang with the best, but their health is nothing to write home about. I managed to get them to 16k health and 810% damage. With these stats and some journeyman saddles, it's time to ask the question, will it boss? Right from the get-go, you can clearly see they do a lot of damage. though they need a little bit of guidance to fully surround the Megapithecus. They hit hard, but they tend to just bunch up in a single spot, and they really don't have the health or the attack range for that. The fight got pretty ugly. The ape was losing health fast, but the bears started dropping left and right. At this point, I honestly had no clue if I was winning or losing. But even though we lost most of the weaker bears, we managed to win. The dire bear will boss. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs Part 7, the Megalosaurus. The Megalosaurus is one heck of a dino. They might seem small, but I got these beasts to 35k health and around 900% melee damage. Though I have to say, some of them are above 42k health, which is insane. So, will it boss? Let's wake them up. Seems that if you enter the arena during the night, they will stay awake. Considering the arena is always full of daylight, I didn't expect this. Thanks to their low drag weight, the boss will target the UT. Use that to your advantage and try to get whatever boss you're fighting stuck. Yeah, as you might have guessed it, we totally destroyed the monkey, no casualties. Seems I should have added them to my top 10 boss dinos list. As long as the night is up, oh man, the Megalosaurus will boss. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs Part 8, the Baryonyx. The Baryonyx is one of the most popular and most beloved dinos in Ark, thanks mainly to its versatility. A lot of you asked me in the comments to test them, so here we are. We got 20k health and 875% melee damage, but trust me, if you breed the right stats, they will go much higher. Just one more question left for Mr. Versatility. Will it boss? Admittedly, they do not hit as hard as others, but thanks to the way they stack, they can even avoid boulders completely, and they can all hit at the same time. That is, unless they completely lose interest. I don't know what happened honestly, but from time to time, they stop fighting. Maybe set them on aggressive stance before. Anyways, after running around with the UT, we finally managed to get the Megapithecus stuck, though at this point the fight was already decided. The Baryonyx will boss. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs Part 9, the Woolly Rhino. The Woolly Rhino is not exactly an underdog, as it is one of the best boss dinos available out there, if they're ridden. But when they're not ridden, they can't exactly make much use of their bonus. But with 19k health and 850% melee damage, there might still be a chance. So, will it boss? Well, unfortunately, I managed to mess up my one and only chance for a decent charge, so we started the fight in the worst way possible. These guys are some very chunky boys, so they need a little bit of guidance to surround this thing. Oh wow, I honestly did not expect losing one of these tanks, but it seems others are pretty bloody as well. Maybe I should have used better saddles. But in the end, at least for the Alpha Megapithecus, the Woolly Rhino will boss. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs Part 10, the Allosaurus. Honestly, I don't know why we're even here. The series is about underdogs, yet people are asking me to test these things in the comment section of each and every episode of this series. These guys have 24k health and 830% melee damage, and a third of them are alpha boosted. I'm doing this for you, so you better hit that like button, because I already know the answer to this question. Will it boss? Since this is the 10th episode, we're going all in. We're taking on all 3 Guardians, if they can actually do that. The first one is the Alpha Megapithecus. Piece of cake, smashed him with no casualties. The Alpha Broodmother? That's a whole different story. We started promising by surrounding the Broodmother from the beginning. Unfortunately, the spider deals a crap ton of damage, so we ended up barely losing this one. But in the end, the Allos deserve a passing grade. They will boss. Kinda. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs Part 11, the Sarcosuchus. The Sarco is one of the best treble mounts in Ark, but in Ascended there's so much more. Since there are no wasted points in both movement and oxygen, the Sarco can get more wild points into stats that actually matter. That's how we got to 20k health and 900% melee damage. But some of these had more than 700% melee right after imprint. I got high hopes for this one, so will it boss? And here we go, charge my Sarcos, tear that monkey to pieces. Wait, what? We're not dealing any damage to the Megapithecus. What the hell is going on? Turns out the atrocious AoE of their bite can't even get to the hitbox of the ape. Thanks, Wildcard. You made my favorite croc absolutely useless. Don't even bother, guys. As things stand, this is the worst creature we've tested so far. The Sarco will not boss. Facing the Guardians using Arcs Underdogs, Part 12, the Ankylosaurus. The Anky is one of the toughest herbivores on the island, but despite their spiky back, they have no damage reduction or damage reflection, which is kind of a nonsense since they were literally a walking tank. Still, with 28k health and 850% melee damage, the Anky has some potential. So, will it boss? Since these guys are super slow, we started the fight on the stairs. And right from the beginning, I realized that the Megapithecus might be their worst opponent. The ape has some crazy knockback, and the Anky is very slow. They take a lot of damage without being able to hit back. And of course, since we fought on the stairs, some of my Ankys ended up thrown in the pit. Regardless, we barely made it halfway through the Alpha Megapithecus, so I don't think those would have made much of a difference. The Anky will not boss. Facing the Guardians using Arcs Underdogs, Part 13, the Direwolf. I can't believe I just had an extraction today and I'm recording another video. But hey, you seem to enjoy the series. The Direwolf is the perfect example of a glass cannon in Arc. Its damage is great when used in a pack, but the low health and especially the lack of a saddle is a great hindrance for man's best friend. Will the Howl be enough to carry the wolf to the victory? Will it crash and burn? Will it boss? Go my doggies, tear that monkey to pieces. Oh my god, they take so much damage. One is already gone. Oh, what have I done? What was I thinking? The thing is, we've managed to get through half of its health, so maybe if we add 2 or 3 Stegos to tank the damage, there might actually be a chance. But on its own, the Direwolf will not boss. Facing the Guardians using Arcs Underdogs, Part 14, Mod Edition, the Ceratosaurus. The Ceratosaurus is one of the coolest creatures available on the mod shop, being both a great day-to-day mount and an endgame dino. And the best part, both PC and console players can enjoy it. With 25k health and 820% damage, the stats are very impressive for this mid-tier dino. So, will it boss? Okay guys, let's dance. Wow, its health is dropping super fast. There's so much green in there, they really do have some insane attack speed. And just look at that, the healing explosions have already passed 1000 health per explosion, and we just lost the stacks. Damn it. Okay, we've reapplied the buff, but just so you know, I've done the math, and during this whole fight, the envenomed effect killed every single Ceratosaurus for 12,000 health, just from the Megapithecus. Yep, it's safe to say the Cerato will boss. Facing the Guardians using Arcs Underdogs, Part 15, the Thylacoleo. The Thylacoleo is one of the best creatures in Arc, with great damage, speed and stamina, and decent health. On top of that, it has the ability to climb vertical surfaces, and does bleed damage. I simply don't understand why everyone ignores them when it comes to facing the Guardians on the island. I bet with their bleed attack they can even take on the dragon. So, will it boss? Let's go! Now before you called me an idiot, yes, I knew this was going to happen. But I had to make this video because every time I upload a Will It Boss short, someone tells me, how about the Thylacoleo? You should try the Thylacoleo. I wanna see the Thylacoleo. There you have it guys, I'm just gonna throw myself off the cliff, because the Thylacoleo does not boss. Facing the Guardians using Arcs Underdogs, Part 16, the Deinosuchus. Well, the Deinosuchus is not exactly an underdog, but I needed a fellow crocodilian to avenge my dear Sarco. Even though the Deinosuchus has the oxygen stat, 900% melee damage and 45k health on average are some insane stats. But they do get only primitive saddles, which might be a big problem. So, will it boss? Okay, what the hell is this? Apparently I had to mount them first, otherwise they would not move on their own. But once we got into the fight, you can see they do a metric ton of damage. I'd like to get back on my UT please, thank you. These things have excellent damage output, but I can see a few bloody crocs. However, we managed to win with 0 casualties, and the Sarco is avenged. The Deinosuchus will definitely boss. Facing the Guardians using Arcs Underdogs, Part 17, the Terrorbird. Terrorbirds are some of the most annoying creatures in the game. Even when tamed, they're annoying. Just listen to all this noise. But you asked for it, so there we go. 9.5k health, 800% melee, top quality saddles, so I'm giving the Terrorbird all the advantages. Will it boss? God, they're so silly moving. Well, they at least attack fast, but it seems they sometimes stop attacking, and I don't know why. So this is the most ideal scenario in which I am trying to tank all the damage with my UT because I have some insane stats and a crazy good saddle, but every time they do get targeted by the Megapithecus, they get smashed. Maybe with some tanky dino to draw the aggro like the Stego, they would do better, but this time the Terrorbird will not boss. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs Part 18, the Procoptodon. The Procoptodon is one of the most beloved tames in the game. A super fun tame with great mobility and utility, and some decent stats as well. They're pretty hard to find on the island though, but if you do get a pair of them, maybe you're wondering, will it boss? Let's go my kangaroos, kick the crap out of that monkey. We're actually starting promising, the damage is not that bad. It seems that those top tier saddles are really carrying us. Never mind, I take that back, the Procoptodon started dropping like flies. Well, we did manage to get the monkey pretty low, but it seems the Procoptodon will remain just a day-to-day map, because the Procoptodon will not boss. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs Part 19, the Gigantoraptor. The Gigantoraptor is the newest addition to Ark Survival Ascended, and is a creature with a lot of potential. You really want to tame this one, but before you tame it, make sure you download the mod and install it. When it comes to the stats, we're talking 27k health and 850% melee damage, and Ascended saddles. But that's not even their final form. They have some very cool abilities, but for that you're gonna have to wait for my next video. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss it. For now, let's see, will it boss? My god, these ostrich peacock hybrids look beautiful, but let's see them in action. It seems they're only using their primary attack, which unfortunately is much weaker compared to their secondary. But thanks to their tankiness and of course those Ascended saddles, they won. Maybe we should try the other Guardians as well, because the Gigantoraptor will boss. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs Part 20, the Kentrosaurus. The Kentrosaurus is a strong contender for Boss Army Dino. They got a pack boost, they reflect damage, they got very good stats, 24k health and 820% melee damage, but they do lack any form of armor, which might be a big problem. But I have faith in the Kentro, so will it boss? Not gonna lie, deploying an army in the teleport zone when you cannot ride them is super annoying. Holy shit, they take a ton of damage. Oh my god, this is so bad. This is really bad. Yeah, the reflect damage will definitely not carry us. We're not even halfway through its HP. We got no chance. Yeah, there goes our last Kentro. Honestly, I expected them to do much better, but the Kentro will not boss. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs Part 21, the Phaseolasuchus. The new Crocodilian of Scorched Earth is a great addition to the map, and is now by far the strongest Crocodilian in the vanilla game. In terms of stats, we're talking 35k health and 900% melee damage, paired with some Ascended saddles, and of course, we're spicing things up by facing the Manticore. So, will it boss? First thing, if you ever face the Manticore, bring a ranged weapon. It will significantly speed up the process. Finally, the Manticore landed. Go my desert crocs. Oh, it's up again. This is gonna take a while. Besides some very good damage reduction, the Manticore's only advantage is its torpor-inducing attack, which, don't get me wrong, it is strong. It knocked out my UT with no problems. However, the Phaseola is immune to torpor, basically invincible against the Manticore. Yep, it will boss. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs Part 22, the Sarcosuchus. Again, the Sarco has been heavily requested for a redo since its bite bug has been fixed, and I completely agree, it was by far the biggest negative surprise of this series. But it's time to wash the shame away. 20k health, 920% melee damage, Ascendant saddles, it's time for the redemption arc. Will it boss? Come on guys, make me proud. There we go, now they're actually dealing damage. Oh, are you kidding me? God, I still hate the fact that this monkey targets me. Let's try and get it stuck on the stairs. The crocs are doing a great job. The Megapithecus is very low, and so am I. But I think we got this one. If you breed them right and level them up, you can probably get them to 30k health and more than 1500% melee damage, which is insane. But even with my stats, this time the Sarco will boss. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs Part 23, the Thorny Dragon. The Thorny Dragon is a creature you can find all over Scorched Earth. But despite its cuteness and size, the Thorny Dragon actually packs a mean punch. 9.5k health and 820% melee damage. Time to put the Desert Gecko to the test. Will it boss? I can't believe I'm taking on the Alpha Manticore with an army that has less than 10k health on average. Calm down, you pile of lion turd. Okay, finally we get to fight it. Oh my god, 3 death worms already? We're definitely getting slaughtered when the rock golems show up, if we're still alive by that time. Okay, when we surround this thing and I tank the damage, we are very effective, since this thing has a hard time flying away. Oh my god, the golems are here. Come on, just a little bit more. We've done it. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Thorny Dragon will boss. At least when the Manticore doesn't get bugged and refuses to land. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs Part 24, the Argentavis. Today we're building an army on a budget. We're not only using the Argentavis, which is primarily a Ward Dino in Ark, but we're also using Apprentice Saddles, which have a little bit below 50 armor. The stats on the other hand are pretty damn good. 16k health, 950% melee damage. It's time for the Argent to show its might. Will it boss? I definitely chose the wrong mount for spectating this fight. However, the UT buff can be easily applied even from the ground. They're pretty slow compared to the Manticore and they take a good chunk of damage from its dash attack, or whatever that is. Oh come on, it was already tough enough to follow these guys. I see some of them are getting low, but I think we got this one. Guys, can you finish this a bit faster? Things are getting a bit cramped in here. And there we go, the Manticore goes down. I think we might have lost the bird, but in the end, the Argent will boss. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs Part 25, the Mantis. One of the best creatures you can find on Scorched Earth. The Mantis is known as the ultimate jack of all trades, thanks to its ability to use tools. However, with 6500 health and 600% melee damage, things are not starting as well as I expected. I equipped them with saddles with 70 armor and swords with 185% damage, so we might still have a chance. Will it boss? Okay, the Manticore finally landed. Oh my god, look at that damage! This is crazy! I'm sorry, but what the hell is wrong with some of these things? Why are they just running and standing around? When they actually fight, they deal a metric ton of damage to the Manticore. Problem is, this is how they behave when I send them to attack. Can somebody please hit this thing? We literally finished the job with 2 Mantises. The others are just running around in the arena. This was the weirdest fight I've ever done. But somehow, the Mantis will boss. Probably. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs Part 26, the Onyx. In my recent ranking video, I've placed the Onyx in the trash tier in PvE, so today I'm willing to give it a shot at redemption. They don't have any type of armor and they lack any pack buff, but those stats are pretty damn good for their size. 8000 health, 950% melee damage. Damn it, I actually think the bat might have a shot. Will it boss? Yeah, forget everything I just said. I completely forgot about the flying speed. Oh my god. How are they supposed to catch that thing? Oh my god, that diving attack deals a lot of damage. Okay, we actually managed to get through a third of its health. Oh yeah, never mind. It just took out 5 of our bats in one attack. We're down to 2 bats. Yeah, we stood no chance. There goes our final Onyx. Turns out I was right about that grade. The Onyx will not boss. Facing the Guardians using Ark's Underdogs Part 27, the Poison Wyvern. Okay, it's a bit of a stretch to call the Wyvern an underdog, I get it, but since everyone is using either the Fire or the Lightning Wyvern for this boss, I decided to give my favorite Wyvern a try. What do you mean, this is your favorite Wyvern? Bro, it's freaking green. You know what else is green? Anyways, these ones have 15k health, 700% damage, and I'm taking 12 of them for this fight. It's time to find out. Will it boss? The Poison Wyvern does have an advantage in this fight. Its breath attack should ignore in theory the Manticore's natural resistance. And it looks like it does. I can see some 800 damage hits. Problem is, they kind of miss it most of the time. By the way, don't get too close to the fight, because if one poison spit hits you, your frame rate isn't the only thing that will die. You might want to use a gas mask if you try these guys. Well, after a lot of dead frames, the Manticore finally goes down. The Poison Wyvern will boss. Facing the Guardians using Arcs Underdogs Part 28. The new and official Ceratosaurus. Yeah, that's right, the Ceratosaurus has officially been added to Arc, with of course a little bit of a nerf. This time we're around 22k health and 800% melee damage, but the health deficit is more than made up for with those 78 armor saddles. However, their true nerf comes in the form of their healing ability. We're also pitting the Cerato against the Broodmother to make things even more interesting. So, will it boss? There's one thing in these boss fights that the Cerato does really well, and that is blocking the bosses. However, thanks to the amount of slow in this fight, the Broodmother managed to get through to us. And not only that, but we got hit with a full spit attack. Okay, we're losing some of our weaker Ceratos, but I think we can manage. Oh god, we're so dead. Luckily, we were able to get the Broodmother stuck again. And bam, the Cerato will boss. Facing the Guardians using Arcs Underdogs Part 29. The Iguanodon. Okay, so listen, the Iguanodon is one of the best starter teams, but today I wanted to see how far you could really go with them. We're facing the Alpha Megapithecus, and they do have some nice saddles, 80 plus armor, but the stats are nothing to write home about. You heavily requested this one, so let's give it a shot. Will it boss? Okay, come my trusty Iguanodons, let's get that monkey. Holy shit, they take a lot of damage. My god, we have zero chances at this fight. Just look at how fast we're getting trashed. Hold on, have I messed up with the saddles? No, I haven't. Turns out they're just trash. The Iguanodon will definitely not boss, at least not on alpha difficulty. Facing the Guardians using Arcs Underdogs Part 30. The Dodo. Yeah, you heard that right. We're giving the Guardians a shot to challenge the mighty Dodo. Naturally, we're choosing the Dragon for this one. No saddles. Who needs a saddle when you're the most OP creature in the game? Stats? Yeah, definitely achievable in official servers. I think the Dodo got this. Will it boss? Come on guys, I'm counting on you. Oh, it's coming. Let's put a Pheromone Dart in it, just to make sure they fight. Guys, come on, a little bit help. Guys, you can start anytime. Oh my god, they're dealing 100 damage per bite. And they can't even get to it because of the terrain. Oh shit, my ute is gone. Well, I guess I have to lead them on foot now. Oh no, these flying shits. I don't want to end it like this, but we're dead. But you know, all of our dodos were still alive, so technically they won? Right? I'm letting you decide on that one.